Hello, hello, hello. Right, I've got this open here. This is about to scream in my face. I'm just waiting for it. I'm just waiting for this screaming just so I know the audio is actually working. Screaming is maybe the wrong word, but we'll see. Oh, okay. The audio's working. Wonderful. Nice to see you in the chat. I don't know how to say your name. Josu, I do not know. And hello, Janine. Hello, anyone who's watching. Hello, Kit Kat. I haven't done a stream on this channel before, so it's quite interesting. It's quite exciting. My face is very burnt. I don't know how well that comes across in camera, but I'm very burnt. Yesterday, I was sitting outside. It didn't even seem like it was that hot or that sunny. Well, it was very hot. It was very humid as well. Next thing I know, I was burnt when I went home. I didn't think I was getting burnt, but apparently that's what was happening. Anyway, I don't know if you guys saw yesterday, the day before, I put out a post on my community tab saying just about maybe doing some streams on this channel instead of videos for a little bit, because I've not been posting here very much, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But basically, I'm intending to do maybe a couple of streams every week if I can, until I get back maybe into the swing of doing videos again. Maybe streams will turn out to be better, I don't know. So we'll do some streams, we'll talk about whatever we're going to talk about, whether it's news or drama. I'll happily take subjects from people in the chat if we get enough interest. I might even get people to come on as well, maybe do a little bit of a voice call, talk to me, tell me what they're thinking. Just random people. I'm not even talking about other creators. I like the idea of like a viewer call-in type thing. So that could be an interesting way to go. Anyway, as I said, haven't streamed on this channel before. So it's all a new thing. I'm not the biggest live streaming guy. It's not usually my thing. But today, we're trying it out. And as far as why, I'm going to get in now to why I'm going towards that. Who we talk about in today, real stream news. That dude's a creep. Yeah, RSN, big no-no. Do not like that guy. We can talk about him if there's something specific you want me to touch on. We can go for it. I'm happy to talk about anything. My big thing is about. I don't know what I was going to say there. I lost track of my own voice. That didn't even make sense. Oh, hello, Sam. Australia, Israel. What a lovely comment. Okay, so the other day on Twitter, I posted, and basically I made this little thread, just kind of venting some frustrations, and that's what I'm going to talk about first here, because this is partly why I'm doing streams right now. I'm going to start doing some streams. So I'll just read through this real quick. Why does everything have to be so serious all the time online? Whatever happened to fun? I much prefer when everyone shitposts and laughs at each other. It's exhausting seeing people constantly calling each other out and being angry all the time. The amount of anger I see from people online is concerning. It really can't be healthy. It's stressful just watching, never mind actually dedicating time and effort to whatever the weekly crusade is. I find myself detaching more and more from social media with each passing day. This has been part of the reason why I've been slacking with uploads. Reporting on fun and wacky drama or news is enjoyable, but when there's a hate mob every other week or day trying to cancel someone for someone new, I butchered that, it's honestly just exhausting. People legit post videos and comments acting as though people who make edgy jokes 8 years ago are scum and need to be exposed, and I can't help but just sit back and think, who cares? That's not a reference to a specific instance, just an example of some of the stuff I'm tired of. People just seem to get angry and worked up over the most stupid things, and the moment you disagree, they act as though you're a terrible person. It's also volatile. Okay. And yeah, this last part isn't so important. So, this is what I wanted to get to. So, the point is, what I'm trying to say there is I find a lot of these videos that I make on Medium Rare, I enjoy making some of them. I enjoy talking about certain parts of news. I enjoy talking about certain bits of drama. Some of it's quite fun to talk about. But there's this, especially recently, there's this huge trend of people jumping on different hate mobs and bandwagons, cancelling each other left, right, and centre. And honestly, I really can't be bothered with it anymore. There's just such a huge outrage culture. Everyone's so angry about everything. Like, I understand being angry at people who are, like, accused rapists, or people who have actually committed actual crimes, or people who are demonstrably scumbags. Like, I have no problem with people wanting to expose those types of people. Things like that. Any sort of inequality and stuff like that. I understand anger there. I understand people wanting to talk about those things. My issue comes where people will look at a tweet that was posted 7 years ago or something, someone made an edgy comment or something, and now this person is to be hated on, this person is now problematic, they have to be cancelled, whatever. I really can't be bothered with it. I'm so fed up of it, and I'm so fed up with the anger all the time. I'm so fed up with the anger of people saying on one hand, I disagree, and when you disagree suddenly, oh, you're a monster for disagreeing, because people make it into a big thing about what's morally right and all the rest. And honestly, I just can't be bothered with it. I think people need to be more accepting in general about diversity of thought. It seems to me that the society in general, we certainly have moved to a place where things are more diverse. People are more accepting in general as a society. There's still ways to go. Of course, there's still racism and sexism and all the rest of it that do exist out there, and those things need to be fought against. But people, just sometimes, it's like, you cannot have a diverse opinion. It's like there's diversity everywhere except in thought. There is no diversity of thought. And the minute anyone even disagrees with the most simple opinion, it becomes, oh, we can't be friends anymore, we can't do this. And all I see when I scroll down Twitter is that. That's all I see every day when I scroll down Twitter or Facebook, or I open YouTube, and all the channels I see are just, that's all people are talking about, and I'm fed up with it. And that's why, largely why I've not been uploading on this channel. And if you've been watching this channel for any reasonable amount of time, I think it's quite apparent that my number one thing on this channel is I like to look at both sides of whatever drama is, whatever the argument is, whatever the news is. My big thing is about being open and not rushing to judgments. I like to wait, I like to see things from all sides. I am 100% against black and white mentality. I think that colorization is very important, and these days it's far too easy for people to get caught up and think it's black or it's white. There is A or B, and if you're not A or B, then, well, if you're not A, then you're B. That is basically how a lot of this social media arguing and debates and whatever go, and it's basically assuming that if someone disagrees with what you are saying specifically, then they must think this entirely opposite thing. When in reality, there is a third option, there is a fourth option, there is a fifth option. There are no ends, there is no limits to the amount of other options that are there. And when I started this Medium Rare channel, my big thing when I covered news stories or drama was always that I wanted to look at all sides of whatever it was I was talking about. I don't want to just say, oh, well, this person is disgusting and terrible, and now we will destroy them and cancel them. No, I like to look at it from their perspective as well. I can still acknowledge, yes, this person is probably not the greatest guy in the world, or they have done questionable things, etc. But I think it's very important to look at both sides and not just believe little snippets or headlines and all the rest. Anyway, I've gone on a bit of a rant there. Let me quickly respond to what you're saying, Katrina Nicole. You say, I honestly haven't paid any attention to any drama. I've been too busy with the BLM movement, trying not to die from corona to even bother with cancel culture. People deserve the opportunity to grow and learn from past mistakes. Actions should speak louder than 7-year-old tweets. 100% agree. I agree entirely with that. It seems as though people are just... I was having this conversation the other day. I can't even remember who it was with. It may have been with my girlfriend. It may have been with someone on Discord. I don't remember. But I was having this conversation about whether or not these people who go after someone, say for a 7-year-old tweet or joke, do they actually care? Do they actually care about that? Are they actually offended? Are they actually upset? I am of the opinion that 90% of the time, no, they are not. I don't believe they are in the slightest. I believe that the people who start these crusades do not actually care about what is ethically or morally right. I think what they care about is clout, and I think what they care about is feeling as though they are part of something good. People like to feel as though they are part of a cause. People like to feel as though they are contributing to something good, and I think that's a large thing with especially extreme ends of social justice. People like to latch on to herds, like to latch on to hate mobs, because they feel like they're doing the morally righteous thing by going after the horrible racist that made an edgy joke 7 years ago, even though they're a completely different person today. And now this person must apologize for what they did back then. I can't be bothered with it. And I don't think the people who push for all these people to be cancelled actually even care in the first place themselves. I don't believe it. Maybe the minority care, but I genuinely do not believe that most people who participate in cancel culture, if you want to call it that, I don't think they care. Susie saying, almost everything and everyone falls into a grey area, to be honest, but that nuance is not often explained because people stop listening after you indicate you don't fully agree. It's a shame, really. 100%, I completely agree with that as well. People are always looking for confirmation bias. They're looking to find something that fits what they already believe. And, I actually think the worst people for this are smart people. I don't know enough about the evidence and stuff, but I have seen some stats and stuff on Twitter about how intelligent people are actually more likely to use their intelligence to mislead about certain facts and to misrepresent certain facts, and it's because they've got a better capacity to actually take some piece of evidence or selectively choose certain things, and it's not always a conscious effort. I think people just naturally, your brain looks for things that you agree with. If you read an article and there's something you agree with in there, I think your brain automatically will focus on those parts that you do agree with, and you'll think, oh, look, I was right, and you'll share this article to say, oh, look, I was right, see, here's your proof. Meanwhile, the other person you're sending that to could actually read the article and they could say, well, actually, your article proves my point. And that's a big problem with a lot of these issues. That's why it's not black and white. There's all this grey area. And it's even in things that simple. It's one article can actually have two different opposing arguments contained within it. And people will use that same article to fight for their own opinions. Hello, Erin the Lil Bucket. I almost said bunny. Buck. And hello, Sunny Oaks. I can't speak today. Oats. There's no difference between oaks and oats. You enjoy my accent. I get a lot of mixed comments about my accent. Some people say, oh, that's a great accent. Other people say, oh, I hate your accent. People from Scotland don't believe I'm Scottish. They're like, you can't be Scottish. That's not a Scottish accent. Whatever. And don't be so hard on yourself. Don't say you're not smart. Maybe you are smart. Or maybe you're not smart. I don't know. I don't know you. I can't say if you're smart or not. Anyway, I've had enough rambling about things. So, is there any drama or news that's been interesting lately? Because I'm kind of out of the loop. What's everyone paying attention to these days? What's going on? Oh my god, my nose is so burnt. I look like I've been working out. Maybe it's the wrinkles of this new shirt. I just got this shirt in the post today, but it's not been ironed, so it's a bit wrinkly. Maybe that's making me look more buff. I don't know. Maybe I've lost some weight or something since my last videos. I don't know. But I am quite burnt. But yeah, what's been going on recently on Twitter? I've not been seeing too much because I've not been paying that much attention. Hence why, again, I've also not been making so many videos, because I've not been paying much attention to what's going on. I've seen bits and pieces, obviously. I've still scrolled down Twitter a little bit, but I used to spend hours just scrolling down social media thinking, oh, I'll engage with this, or I'll bookmark this tweet for later or whatever, but recently I've been like, no, I just can't be bothered. I scroll down for like 2 minutes, 3 minutes or something, and then I'm like, nope, I'm done for today. There's just so much anger, and it's what I was talking about earlier. People are just so angry, and I can't deal with having that much negativity and hatred and anger in my life. It's just too stressful. Yeah, life is certainly less stressful without Twitter. I'm trying to limit my time on there. They found the bodies of those 2 kids who went missing of the crazy Mormon sect cult. I don't even know what that means. Let's find out. The bodies of... Okay. Mormon cult bodies. Nothing came up. That was a terrible Google search. As was that one. Mormon. Let's just search Twitter for Mormon. You know what? Why am I not showing? I should be screen sharing. Okay, I'm not really seeing it here. What's being said? Hi, H.T. Wells. Oh, I hate having myself on my own screen. That is terrible. The Vallow children. Okay, I'll search for that. And Sunny Oak says, Davy Vanity trolling YouTubers and still targeting children. Onision has an OnlyFans and Gabby Hanna bitching about not having enough views. Oh lord, yeah. I've not paid that much attention to the whole Davy Vanity thing, honestly, since the start. I'm not that read up on it. I know little bits and pieces, but it's not really a thing I paid much attention to. I saw Onision had an OnlyFans, and honestly, I wish I didn't see that. People were posting these leaked images, and honestly, I could have lived without seeing that. I didn't need to see that in my life, but now I have, and now I'm scarred, and maybe some of you are also scarred as well, but I'm sure we're all working through it in our own ways. And I've seen some stuff about Gabby Hanna, but I'm not entirely read up on what was going on. I think she was saying something about how drama channels come up when you search her name, and she said that's terrible and that YouTube is shadow banning her and going against her and all that crap. Okay, let me open Lori Vallow's children. Let me see. What is this? Lori Vallow. Remains found. Is this the right thing? Wow.
This morning
I don't need a video. I really hate these websites. I hate news websites when they just start playing you videos and jumping about on your screen. If I want to watch the video,
this morning we
play it myself. Look, it's going again. I just paused you. What are you doing? Look, and then, see, I really hate that animation. That really annoys me when that happens. Just bugs me. Just little things that bug me. Okay. The 2 sets of human remains found at Chad Daybell's home were those of 2 missing children who had not been seen since September. Daybell is married to Lori Vallow, the mother of the children, 17-year-old Tylee Ryan and 7-year-old Joshua J.J. Vallow. So those are the kids, I guess. Search warrant, blah, blah, blah. Last seen at Yellowstone. Hey, they could have fallen in that volcano. That volcano's terrifying. What actually is this story? I'm a little confused as to what the story is. I have no idea about any of this.
The mother of 2 missing kids.
See, it's doing it again. You know what? I'm muting this site because it's really bugging me. What's being said in the chat? I see you in the chat saying about Chris Hansen. We'll get to that in a minute once I finish trying to work out what the hell's going on here with these Vallow kids. Once I have a look at that, we'll get to Chris Hansen because I'm not entirely aware of everything going on there, but I have some thoughts. The mother of 2 missing children has been arrested. So Lori Vallow, the mother, was arrested. Okay. She's being held on a $5 million bail. So after this, the other article I just had open confirms that the bodies have been found. Okay. Okay, so they went missing. What the hell? We are elated. No evidence. You know what? I can't do this today. I'm brain dead today. Right. What are you guys saying in the chat? They've exhumed the body of the guy's ex-wife as she died now under suspicious circumstances, but that's been kept under wraps for the investigation. They have very crazy ideas about everything, believing the daughter was possessed. They have a circle of death surrounding them. That is concerning. Maybe after I finish this stream, I'll have a look into that myself. I'm not very good at just researching something on stream. You know, I like to sit... I like to read in silence. If I read out loud, I don't really take it in the same. So I kind of struggle to do a little bit of research here, but I'll maybe look into that a bit later and see what's going on there, because it does seem a little bit interesting. They were saying they were possessed by zombie spirits and prepared for the apocalyptic end of the world. Sounds like a couple of nutcases. I like Ready to Glare. I'll maybe check out her videos. Yeah, okay. Anyway, Chris Hansen. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but the timeline here... The events here surrounding Chris Hansen have essentially been... It's a crazy story. Cults, murder, doomsday. Yeah. You know, those Mormon type things, they're always crazy. I don't think I've actually ever met a Mormon in real life. I think you're the only good Scottish YouTuber I know. It's nice to hear someone with the same accent. I'm trying to think if I watch any Scottish YouTubers. You know, I don't watch much YouTube these days. I watch the odd video. I don't think I've ever really watched Scottish YouTubers, so I'll say I'm my favourite Scottish YouTuber as well. Okay, Chris Hansen. I saw a few days ago, this thing was posted, it was circulating, this article, in which it was said that Chris Hansen had told a reporter back in January that he had sold the rights to the Onision story to, what was it? Was it Investigation Discovery or something? I can't remember the name of the network or whatever it was. It was something like that. So back then, in January, apparently this interview took place. But now it's a recent article that has come out where this conversation has been put out there for us. Okay. So people were very angry, obviously. This, again, if I'm getting anything wrong here, please correct me in the chat. This is just my understanding because I haven't been paying 100% attention to this. So, this article came out in which Chris had said that he had sold... Yeah, this article had come out... I'm sorry, I'm reading the chat at the same time and it's distracting me. Yeah, so this article came out. Chris says, yeah, I sold the rights to this Onision thing. Okay. So people were very angry about this, and kind of rightfully so, because people have been saying for a while now that Chris was in this simply for monetary gain. And I agree with that. I am someone who does agree with that. I am someone who has spoken to Chris Hansen. I've been on Chris Hansen's show. And yeah, I agree with that train of thought. I am on that side. I do believe that his intentions here are not pure. I think he is a bit of a con man at this point. That's whatever though, that's a topic for another day. So he has now sold the rights to this story. My first reaction when I read him selling the rights, and we'll get onto whether or not he has actually sold this story, but my first reaction was, how did he sell this? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Holly in Hell. How does he sell the rights to this? He doesn't own the rights to this. So if this is true, how? Like, what makes this story his? Like, even everything he has covered on his channel, every single thing he has covered through his Onision streams, is stuff that has already been covered in the past. This is all old news, other than maybe little details. Like, obviously, there was, say, the Shiloh stream or the Billy stream or whatever, or all these other interviews that have been done. Obviously, there are maybe little details in those streams that we did not know before. And sure, I think that's great that we got to hear what those details are. And I actually thought that it was alright that he was doing these streams back then. I was fully in support of all these streams with the alleged Onision victims. I thought that was a good thing. But if you're being honest about it, there wasn't really anything groundbreaking or anything really new that was exposed through Chris Hansen's streams. If anything, all it really did was maybe bring a wider awareness to the subject. I definitely think that. I think in regards to YouTube, it kind of went a little more mainstream than the Onision stuff had been doing before. So I think, if anything, Chris Hansen brought more attention to the subject. I think that is the main thing that happened there. I don't think anything new was brought. Susie says, I'm thinking he might have sold the information that's been gathered on his side. Undoubtedly, he has to have kept some sort of track of the information that came from his guests over time. Just a guess. Yeah, but that's the issue. It's like, what information has he gathered other than information that other YouTubers gave him? Like, his very first stream, wasn't it with, like, Blair White, and then he done one with Repsion? Maybe it was the other way around. But those were his first streams, and those people were just filling him in. They were just giving him the information because Chris didn't do the research himself. He had other people spoon-feed him the information. And that's not an issue. I don't have a problem with that. But for him then to sell the story is a little strange because it's not his to sell. He didn't do any more work than anyone else did. In fact, he did much less work than other people did on the story. And even then, it's not even anyone else's story to tell other than the people who would be involved with it. For example, the people who are the alleged Onision victims. It should be their story to sell if it was ever being sold. But again, it seems like a strange thing to sell a story like that. It's really strange. Normally, if you think I'm going to sell a story, it's something that maybe hasn't been talked about before. Like, say you had a scoop on a completely crazy, wacky story, and no one else had that story except for you. Now you go to a network and you sell them your story. Or you go to the newspaper, you sell them your story. That's usually how it works. So to me, it is really strange, and I don't quite understand how Chris Hansen could sell a story that is not exclusive. Everyone has already talked about it. There is nothing new. It has already been put out there. Like, what is he actually selling? I don't understand. And it's not like the network would have exclusive rights to whatever the story is. They're not going to have exclusive rights. Who's got the rights? Anyone can still make a video. The network could put out their series on their TV, and I could still come on here and make more Onision videos talking about the same thing. So I don't understand what they really mean by the story has been sold. But then we get to the fact that Chris, let me just pull up Chris Hansen's Twitter because he denied the story being sold. So let's find it. This was 9th of June. That was a while back. No one is selling rights to a story to a network. That's not even how it works. And why would you not... Hey. You're supposed to be looking at this. Here we go. No one is selling rights to a story to a network. That's not even how it works. And why would you not explore expanding an important story to a wider audience? Shouldn't the survivors' voices and the quest for justice go beyond YouTube? And I don't understand how he could be selling the rights to the story. So I understand the first sentence, or the first two sentences where he says that's not even how it works, because I was confused as well. But this is literally coming from him. He spoke to a reporter who has then reported this information. This apparently came from a sit down with Chris Hansen. So to me, it's a little bit strange. Why would the reporter have written in this article that Chris Hansen told him that he had sold the rights to this story? I don't quite understand. Where did this come from if he hasn't done that? To me, it seems like Chris is lying here. That would be my takeaway. I mean, I can't exactly prove that. I mean, we don't exactly know that for sure. I could be wrong. Maybe it's the reporter that's lying. But it just seems really bizarre to me that this quote... Where did the quote come from? Where did the idea that it was being sold come from if Chris didn't tell the guy that he was selling it? I spoke to a friend on Discord the other day who said they think that Chris actually lied to the reporter and said that he had sold it when in reality he hadn't managed to sell it. Because my friend was a bit confused as to why Discovery would even want to buy the story in the first place. But that's a whole different thing. No, that's just it. It's not his own work. That's just the only thing I could personally think of that might fit. Either way, it's just bad looks. I feel so bad for the victims. He totally stabbed them in the back. I'm surprised if they're not going to end up traumatized from this too. Yeah. I'm not sure. I mean, I've not really seen much from any of the alleged victims on Twitter saying much. I think I saw Shiloh going off about something, but I didn't really pay much attention to it. But I'm just a little bit confused with what's going on there. But I just remembered Chris did make another tweet. He put a video out here. So this was a... Let's just watch this. I'm gonna play this. Hopefully you can hear it. Let me know if you can't hear it and I'll fix it. But I'm gonna play this because I haven't watched this yet. I just saw it before I started the stream. I just want to hear what he has to say. Oh, play please. It doesn't want to play. It's not playing nice, folks.
Hey everyone, I thought I'd take a quiet moment today to talk about some of the drama playing out on social media surrounding a potential television project on the Onision investigation. Let me be very, very clear here. Anyone that is suggesting that such a project would take place without the consideration of, the consultation with, or the participation of the victims in this case is either ill-informed, lying to you, or more likely trying to gin up drama for their own selfish reasons, to promote their own drama channels. I have had over the past several weeks discussions about a television project on the Onision case. The victims are...
Can I just stop there for a second? Like, this tweet, right? No one is selling the rights to his story to a network. Okay? And now he is saying in this video that, yes, I have had discussions about this television show. So is that not like a direct contradiction? Maybe he's saying, okay, I'm not selling the rights, but we are doing a TV show. Is that maybe what he's trying to say here? But really, isn't that roughly the same thing? Isn't that kind of the same thing? I mean, even his initial tweet, it's like, shouldn't the survivors' voices go beyond YouTube? That was kind of contradictory to me as well. I mean, I'm not really liking his statement here at the moment.
Always will be. I'll be doing interviews with them if such a project takes place. Again, a lot of this noise is merely drama. I got into the Onision investigation because, quite frankly, you all asked me to do it. We've done multiple shows on it. We've done interviews with victims, law enforcement, people who know about the case. There is now a federal and a local investigation. We're going to stay on this, but television has the potential to take this to a wider audience and to increase the potential that we will see justice here. There's nothing wrong with that.
I want to know what justice he's actually going for here. Like, do any of you think Onision's actually going to jail for any of this at this point? Like, I think that is entirely unlikely. I think if Onision was going to jail, he'd be in jail by now. Has he done disgusting things? 100%. Onision's a scumbag. But it doesn't appear that there's any concrete evidence of things that are going to land him in jail. So I don't see what justice exactly he's really trying to get here at this point, other than milking the entire thing over and over again. But that's just me at this point. Like, what does TV accomplish? To me, what he's saying here is that, well, I want to get back into television. I mean, he's kind of been kicked out of those circles after all the drama that went down with his previous show, and the show got cancelled and all the rest of it after that guy killed himself. I can't remember the exact details, but he was basically kicked off of TV, and then he went to YouTube. So to me, it seems like this is just him trying to get back into TV. It's like he's trying to take something new and exciting to TV to try and get back into the good graces of TV. I'm not so sure I'm not so sure I believe that he's being sincere here. I don't think he really cares that much about justice or drama. Yeah, exactly, Cheryl. I agree. Sharing the story on a TV show to claim more justice will be served as him saying he's cashing in on a story, knowing that Onion won't be going to prison, nor that will do more justice for anyone. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I would say as well. It seems just more that he's cashing in, and I would say that about a large majority of the streams he actually did on Onision, like the first streams he done were great. I thought it was great that he was talking to Billy, he was talking to Shiloh, he was talking to all these people who actually had interactions with Onision and with Kai, people who were seemingly alleged victims, people who had actually suffered at the hands of Onision. And I thought that was great, and I was fully on board for that. But then it just seemed like he was milking the thing. To me, it just seemed like he was giving people false hope. At the end of every stream, he's like, oh, the FBI are looking into him. I promise you, Onision is going to jail. Onision's not going to jail. I don't see it. That's not what's happening. He's not going to jail at this point. I feel like it's just Chris trying to lie to his audience, expecting them just to be carried along with it. And a lot of people did go along with it for a very long time. It's only been recently that people have actually started to flip on him and turn on him. And this thing has brought him so many views, it's not surprising that he milked it for so long. And honestly, I don't care that he milked it, honestly. Like, YouTubers do that all the time. People make 50 Onision videos all the time. That's like a normal thing. People milk drama, serious news, abuse, all these sorts of things. People do it all the time. That is what YouTube is. People make videos to gain audience, make a profit in the end. Yeah, sometimes you can have some good intentions, you can do a little good along with it, but in the end, this is a business. This is a thing for people to try and do well for themselves. So I don't necessarily blame him for milking it, if you want to call it that. But my issue is when he blatantly lies or he's giving people false hope. I mean, people are genuinely upset with Onision. People genuinely want to see justice. So it's kind of a slap in the face for Chris to sit there saying, oh, well, Onision is definitely going to jail. I promise you that. When in reality, no, he's not. You're just stringing your audience along to, for whatever reason, to make yourself more money. Like, I don't care if you want to go and interview every single person you can think of. You do that. I do not have a problem. And if people are happy to watch that, they can watch that, and you can try and take down Onision, go for it. But don't lie to people. Don't lie. Don't give people false hope. That just really bugs me. He only really seems to care about being the guy who exposes people and conduct these ridiculous interviews. He doesn't really ask the questions or do the follow-through claims he claims to be all about. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be in it or not, but I did an interview with John Swan a couple of weeks ago. He's doing a Chris Hansen 2 or 3 part series, I think, and I think the first part comes out on Friday. I done a little interview with him about it, just to give him some info on my experience when I spoke to Chris Hansen and Vincent back when I was on the show. And basically, one of the things I was talking about there to John Swan was about how I felt as though Chris kept asking me very much leading questions, and how right before we actually started, the day before we did the live stream, Chris, Vincent and we got into a call, and we were basically doing a practice run. Basically all the questions that were going to be asked the next day, he was asking me the day before. We did like a practice run through. And in the practice run through, Chris kept trying to hammer home on this point about Onision being a cult leader. And he actually specifically said that to me and Vince towards the end. He said, tomorrow I want to really hit home on this cult aspect of what we're talking about. And to me, immediately, that gave me a very bad impression, because Chris is calling himself a journalist, an investigative journalist. Isn't the whole point there to be unbiased? If you're supposed to be a credible source of news or whatever, isn't the whole thing to be unbiased? Meanwhile, he's admitting to me, admitting to Vince, that he wants to push a certain narrative. Like, that was just so insane to me that he would actually just sit there and admit that to me. And maybe you think Onision is this cult guy or whatever, but that's a completely different thing. But for Chris to actually push that so hard, I thought that was wrong. I didn't quite agree with it. I mean, I wasn't completely off the Chris bandwagon at that point. I thought he seemed genuine to me. I'll say that much. When I spoke to him, he did seem quite genuine. But he also didn't seem to really understand much of what he was talking about. Anyway, I'm not going to bash on him too much anymore for that. I don't want to get into that because whatever.
That a lot of you think that YouTube and social media is the only way to go. I see it a little differently. Please respect that. I've also been asked to look into the Dobby Vanity case, which I have done, am doing, and will continue to do so. The victims will always come first. Always, always, always. So please know that, and put that in your formula when you consider whose motives are what as this social media debate continues. I'll keep you posted as to exactly what's happening. We'll have some clarity very soon on when.
Okay, I've had enough of that. Yeah, the last thing I want to say as well is he was pushing this narrative, obviously, and the thing I found when I was speaking to him during the actual stream was that he kept asking leading questions, and I saw people. I think someone sent me a screenshot. I think it was lolcow or something. Someone, which is like this message board where people talk about YouTube drama and whatever. But someone was talking about how Chris kept asking me leading questions, and I was doing a good job at kind of dodging his leading questions and not letting him lead me on. And when I thought back more about it, I was like, yeah, that definitely was quite leading. And I went back and I looked at some of the other interviews he had done prior to the one he done with me. And I started noticing what I hadn't noticed before, and it was that he had been asking leading questions to everyone. I mean, it's even stuff simple. Should Onision go to jail? That question alone. It was just the way he asks it, and the way he sits there and kind of stares at whoever he's interviewing asking that question. And he asked me that, and I'm like, if he is found guilty of illegal crimes, then yes, he should go to jail. But why are you asking me if he should go to jail? I'm not a prosecutor. I'm not the police. Why does my opinion on whether he should go to jail have any bearing on what I'm talking about? I just stuff like that. I found it really bizarre. Anyway, hopefully the best does come out of all this. Is there anything else we should move on to? I'm fed up of talking about Chris Hansen. I didn't want to talk about him for that long. I'm excited to seeing John Swan's video coming out. I want to see how well done that is. I'm sure it will be a great video. But does anyone have any other recent news or drama that's been going on you'd like to touch on? I haven't really been paying much attention, as I said. I'll start trying to pay more attention. I think this has been going okay. It's kind of it's a chill little stream. Nothing too serious. Nothing too over the top. I'm going to get dinner in like 15 minutes, so I will be wrapping up relatively soon. But I'm probably going to do maybe 2 to 3 streams per week. I'm not sure when they'll be. It'll probably just be on random days. Probably different times each time as well. So maybe some of you won't make it because it'll be at different times, but maybe different people will. I don't know. It'll be when I feel like it, essentially. And I will try and do those a couple of times a week, just to try and put something out here. Maybe just try and experiment with some live streams, because it's not something I've really done on here before. Yeah, exactly what I thought, Holly. It sounds salacious, but is it actually a crime by law to be a cult leader? I don't think it is. Yeah, I don't think it is a crime to be a cult leader. It would depend if the cult was committing crimes or not. I think that it's like a cult is basically a religion. That's basically what it is. Like, what is the difference? It's not illegal to be the leader of a religion. So why would it be illegal to be the leader of a cult? Cult necessarily doesn't mean they're doing bad things. Hello, Mo. Oh, it is so hot today. So hot. I just shut this window as well before I started this stream earlier, and I kind of regret it. There would have been extra background noise. I don't know if my mic would have picked it up or not, but there would have been extra background noise. Maybe I should have just made you all deal with that for my comfort. Yeah, it certainly sounds better for clicks to say cult leader. I think that was the thing Chris was going for when he kept going about the cult leader thing. I think he wanted to try and make this into a more sensational thing. He was trying to sensationalize the case. He was trying to make it sound as though, oh, we've got the next Manson here or something. I'm sorry, but I loved that. Hello, Mo. You have a wonderful voice. Thank you. I will take it. Get you a mobile airco unit. It's the best purchase I've made in the last 5 years at least. You know, that would actually be a great idea. I've thought about it a few times. Have I seen Gabby Hanna having a mental breakdown over social media? I've seen bits and pieces. Basically, my understanding here is that she was upset, mainly at drama channels. She was upset that YouTube was apparently shadow banning her. She was saying something about how YouTube are taking views away from her, they're redirecting people away from her, all that sort of stuff. And I also saw she was upset that when you search her channel name, basically it's mainly drama videos that come up. Let's see what happens when I search for Gabby Hanna. What comes up? Yeah, for me, what comes up first is her channel, then latest from Gabby Hanna, 2 videos plus 8 more, and then you get everything else. And I think that's the way it should work. The way it should work is it should show your channel, a couple of your videos, and then it shows the popular videos right now that people are talking about you or whatever. And I think that's fine. I don't have an issue with the way that displays. I want to see what happens when I search Rag Reynolds. Wow, we get my other channel. We get my my comedy channel. We should ban Sand. Yeah, okay. We don't get medium rare. What happens when we search medium rare? Wow, we get the medium rare podcast. Fuck those guys. They started after me. How dare they? And how dare they have more subscribers? Look, I have to go all the way down here to find me. I'm all the way down here. It's so sad. Oh, and look. How to
Cooking steak can be...
You know what? I'm going to pin that for later because that steak looks good. Sounds like she's trying to promote her music videos by all this, to be honest. She is the epitome of any attention is good attention. You know what? To be fair, any attention often is good attention. It depends what you're going for. Depends what kind of brand you're building. Like, I don't know how many of you are aware of my other channel, my Rag Reynolds channel, but that's basically just a troll channel. It's just a comedy channel, and on that channel, any attention is good attention. That's my motto on there. I say ridiculous things and make ridiculous videos to get reactions and whatever, and that's just having a bit of fun. And yeah, any attention is good attention on there. But on here, on medium rare, I wouldn't say that's the case. I think bad attention is bad on here. I think good attention is good. I think what I want is people to be reasonable. What I want is people to think, yeah, even though maybe I disagree with what this guy's saying, he's being fair. That's all I want to be known as. I just want to be known as a fair guy. I don't care about being a good guy. I don't care about being a bad guy. I don't care about being right. I don't care about being wrong. I just want to be known as fair. I think I'm a very fair person. I'm fair and I'm accepting. And I'm tolerant. And those are the things I pride myself and this brand on. Think logically. Yeah. We'll go with that. Right. Is there anything else anyone wants me to touch on before I start to wrap up? I'll try and maybe have some more organized streams in future. This one was like spur of the moment. I wasn't going to do a stream today at all. I was kind of having a laze around day. I wasn't going to do anything today. I was like, But then I decided, okay, let's just go for it. Let's just do an hour stream before I have dinner. And I think it's went all right. So in future, I might try and do some more. I might try and have some more topics at the ready. And I think as well, I will try and have viewer call-ins if people do want that as well. So if you guys have something to say, you want to ask a question or anything like that, I might set up something on Discord where you can just click on it, you can join in, and you can have a minute or two speaking to me, saying your take, and then we can move on. Okay, Mama Max, what's your take? I have no idea what Mama Max is. Let me just quickly... Mama Max. Okay, this looks like it's an in-depth topic for another day because I'm coming to the end of this stream. So I don't know what Mama Max is. So I'm going to have a look at it and see it later. But if I do another stream, I'll be sure to give you my take then. Yeah, if you want your brand to be respectful and bias serious, then don't throw a hissy fit over nothing like a lot of people do. What's for dinner? I think I'm having chicken thighs. And a wrap. I'm going to have wraps with chicken thighs. Hello, Ant9. I like a live chat, interacting in person with others. It's refreshing for me. Yeah, it's nice. It's a bit more chill, I think, being on a stream. And you know, often when it's a video, it's like there's a bit of a disconnect. It's like I'll make a video, it takes X amount of hours to do this and do that, and I post the video, and then it's just kind of that's it over with. Whereas here, I feel like it's a bit more relaxed. There's sometimes it's a bit more intense when it's a video, because it's just me talking to myself, essentially saying, this is this, this is this, this is that. There's no kind of back and forth. There's only this way. There is no back this way until the next video. It's not until I read the comments. Whereas here, I can be mid-sentence and someone says something, and now I think, oh, you've got a point there. Now I'm not even going to make that point I was going to make, because you've actually changed my mind. And there's a bit more of a conversation this way, I think. So it might be a good way to take the channel. It might become a better way to do things. We'll see. And as I said, I will try and set up some maybe viewer call-in types things, and I will also try and prepare more stories in the future. I might try and do 2-hour streams, maybe an hour. We'll see, depending on what it is. Today is Wednesday? I think today's Wednesday. I might try and do another stream either Saturday or Sunday. Don't hold me to that. We'll see. But yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to check out my links in the description down below. Follow me on Twitter. Feel free to join my Discord. All the rest of it, things that are down below. And I'll see you all in the next stream, where we'll talk about more things, I suppose. Take care.